Okay, and welcome to the layers lecture. So in this lecture, we're gonna be going through the very basics of layers and what they do and why they are the single most important thing in Affinity Publisher or any of the Affinity Suite software, and in Adobe Suite as well. I think, as far as I know, every single software is very important for Adobe Suite. So layers are what defines what is visible or not visible on your canvas or on your workspace or on your document. It is extremely important, and it is the elements that are on your document. And let me explain how it works. Let's switch to the page number 1, and as you can see, the basis of the page number 1, the only layer that we have is the master layer, meaning that whatever is visible, whatever we'll do on the master page will be available on the page number 1 as the master layer, which will be always beneath everything. So you should understand that whatever is the below will be the basis of whatever is on the top. Let me explain what this mean. So if I will go to the master and make entirety of the master page gray, let's draw the rectangle on the top, and as you can see in the master page, it's showed the rectangle, the gray rectangle, and every single page changed to the gray because in the master layer, we have the gray rectangle, which is extremely cool, and it will be the basis of whatever we'll do. Let's turn on the guides, and let's add another layer. In this case, let's add a picture. We're gonna do this by adding in a picture frame. We can actually just drag and drop the picture from the stock, whatever picture that you want, but let's do it with the picture frame to explain to you a little bit about the clipping as well. So let's drag and drop the picture frame inside the margins. Let's not go outside just to make our gray background a bit visible. As you can see, we have a new layer of picture frame which is above the master. So let's just turn off the guides so we should be able to see everything, and then add the stock picture of the book inside of this picture frame. Let's drag and drop the picture. By the way, I use the stock, just search for the book and add it just like that. And as you can see, it is added inside of this stock. But what do we see here is that it actually only bound this picture to the picture frame. It just went a bit inside, meaning that it is only bound to the picture frame and it will not bleed outside of the picture frame. I'm going to be explaining a little bit about this just a bit later as well. So we have the second layer of the picture. Now let's add a third layer of the text. In order to do this, we're gonna use an artistic text tool. We have white text. Okay, let's do it this size. I'm just dragging and dropping on the canvas, and let's write hello. We're gonna switch to the move tool. Oh, not like that, just like that. And let's center it. When you move it, as you can see, it's just snapping in the center because we have the snapping on, which is the magnet icon right here. And as you can see, hello text appeared on the top, which is very, very cool. We're gonna deselect this by Control D, so we would have entire canvas visible for us. And as you can see on the page number 1, it's right here, and we have 3 layers, basically. Not 3, we have more layers, but 3 main layers, which is the master layer behind the gray layer, the picture or inside of the picture frame, which is the second layer, and hello text as a third layer. And as you can see, they are one above another and they are visible. But what will happen if we'll take the hello text and put it beneath the picture frame? It disappeared. Did it though? Is it gone? If you will select the hello text right here, but select the thumbnail, don't select the text, because if you select the text, it will allow you to just rename it. But we selected it, and as you can see, it's still there. It shows that it's still there, but we cannot see it. Why? Because picture is covering it. If we make the picture invisible by selecting the tick on the layer itself, it's still there, but we cannot see it because picture is covering. So that's how layers are working. The one that is above is always visible, and if it covers something that's beneath, something that's beneath will become invisible. And if you'll just drag and drop text, just drag and drop just like that on the top, you can see the hello text is now visible. Pretty simple, right? It's extremely simple to work with the layers. It's very intuitive because you can understand that these are just stacking different elements on top of each other. If they're overlapping, the one that is on top will be covering that is the one that is on the bottom. That's what it does. But let me just quickly explain for you, for the ones that are asking why some of the layers have arrows in it. Well, the layers can be stacked more than just on top of each other. They can stacked inside of each other. What does this mean? So in this case, we have the picture frame. We put the picture frame layer. And by putting the picture inside of it, the Affinity Publisher itself bound the text, the picture to the frame only. Meaning the text, or meaning the picture, will only be visible inside of the frame. It will not bleed outside, even though the picture itself is pretty large. As you can see, if we'll move here, it's pretty large. Even though if we'll move picture, it will not go over this border. No matter what, it will not go over the border because it's clipped. It's bound to it. It's bound 100% to it. How we can actually do that? Let's bound the text to the picture frame as well. Let's take the text, just click with the mouse and drag it. If we'll go beneath it, you can see that we have the two, if you move like on the right, on the left, it is changing the length of the picture, of the blue line. If we'll put down like that, if we'll put just like that, I'm just gonna explain everything because it's a bit too much. If we'll put it like that, it will put the text below the picture frame when the line is the longest. If we'll put it when the line is shorter, it will bound the text to the picture frame. But what if we'll do the same thing with this one? As you can see, we have two different three different line lengths here. Like one is a bit shorter, one is a bit longer, and one it's very short. So if we'll do the longer one, it will put the text outside of this picture. It will be the main thing, and it will be the main layer outside of the picture frame. If we'll put this just like that, it will put it. It will put the text, the hello text. Let me just put it on the top so it would be a bit more visible. It put the text inside the picture frame, so the text now is bound to the picture frame. If we'll move just like that, you guys can see it is not crossing the gray line as well. But if we'll take the text and put it under the picture itself, not like that, because it will put the beneath the picture, but like that, it will bound to the picture itself, not to the picture frame. It will be bound to the picture. What it means, if I'll move the text like that, as you can see, the text, if I move the picture like that, the text moves with it as well. But if I'll move the text, it is not crossing the picture anymore. It is not crossing the picture. If I'll unbound it from the picture and bound it to the frame, it will move outside, but not cross the frame line. So this is how it works. It is a bit difficult to understand from the very beginning, but it's actually pretty simple. Let's put the text on the top. When you work with it, when you do it once, twice, 3, 4 times, you will understand how it works. I know it might be a bit overwhelming. I've tried to explain it as much as I could, but it might be a bit overwhelming. Don't worry. When I will work with the documents themselves, I'm going to show you everything what I do, where I'm bounding it, how am I doing this, etc., etc. Don't worry. Don't think that, oh, you need to memorize it right now. Just know that it's possible. It's possible to do this right now. Plus, in addition, you can do a bunch of different things with the layers as well, like how they blend with their background. Like you can change the blending, and it actually works differently with the different things. And I'm not going to explain how the blending works right now because it's a bit too much. You can plus change the opacity of the layer itself, meaning that how opaque the text is or how opaque any of the things are. And you can even add an adjustment layers and layer masks on top. Let's not talk about the layer masks right now. It might be a bit too much if you haven't worked with a Photoshop or Affinity Photo or something like that. But you can add an adjustment layers. And what the adjustment layers are is that you can add some adjustments. For example, levels, white balance, like vibrance, etc., etc. Let's work on adjustment layer for the picture. Let's add this one like that. Let's work with the curves. Let's work with the curves. And as you can see, when you created the curves, it only affects the picture frame. And if we'll move, the text changes. It does not change. It stays exactly the same. It does not change at all. Everything that I do right now only affects the picture, and or should I say everything that is inside the picture frame, because I bound it to the picture frame. So that's what it is. Do you want to it affect to everything? Just click, drag and drop it on the top, and it will affect anything. Well, because there is not much to affect on hello text, it did not change. But look at the grays on the background. It affected the grays as well. We're gonna learn, of course, about adjustments and things in the future lectures. Don't worry about this. But this will be it for this lecture. Let's go to the next one.